Oregon has just voted to recriminalize drug possession. In 2020, Oregon followed the lead of many other people, many other states, certainly the word of activists and the push from activists to decriminalize drugs. That was in 2020. Well, there's a new law that just got signed by Governor Tina Kotek that charges possession of hard drugs like heroin or meth as a misdemeanor with a penalty of up to 6 months in jail or drug treatment instead. Now, this, again, is a reversal of provisions made with Measure 110, which was a ballot initiative that came out in 2020 that eased the penalty for drug possession. Now, the initial idea behind the measure was to offer solutions for drug addiction and for drug problems rather than to just throw people in jail. However, challenges to set up a new treatment system and a rise in fentanyl overdoses caused the state allegedly to make some changes. So let me be very clear about what's happening here. In 2020, we saw a massive overhaul of drug laws, a massive recalibration of our values as a nation, at least our expressed values, particularly in the aftermath of George Floyd. We started to see votes to or pushes to decriminalize drugs, to abolish police, or at least to defund police. We started to see more accountability initiatives coming through against police enforcement, and it was a lot of it was a response to the death of George Floyd, which the whole country was forced to look at. Indeed, the whole world was forced to look at. And so drug criminalization was a step toward abolition. It was a step toward decriminalization. It was a step toward creating the world that we actually wanted to see. But unfortunately, when you live in a carceral world, when you live in a world where all of our logics and all of our values and all of our solutions are based in prisons, based in policing, based in locking people up, based in punishment, then we don't know any other way to solve a problem. When the only tool you have is a hammer, everything looks like a nail. And so they said, wait a minute, people are getting drug overdoses. People are getting high off fentanyl. What are we going to do? Oh my God. We want to build a new treatment system, a new drug treatment facility. We want to do a network of rehabs, but we can't afford it. What do we do? Well, instead of figuring out how to come up with money, or instead of figuring out how to respond to the fentanyl overdoses, which are a problem, they said, you know what? Let's go back to the hammer. Let's just lock everybody up. Now, one way to stop the overdoses, not from fentanyl, but overdoses in general, is to have safe injection facilities, SIFs as we call them. Have places where people can safely inject drugs with oversight, with drug treatment, with rehab counselors, with medical personnel and staff. Because let me tell you something, if somebody's on heroin, they're going to get their heroin. If somebody getting high, they're going to get high. You can't stop them from doing that by criminalizing it and shaming it. But what you can do, what you can create, is a space and a context where people can actually heal and recover. But instead, Portland, or excuse me, the state of Oregon in general, is going to simply start recriminalizing. And the reason why this is a problem, the reason why this is a crisis, is because it's not just Oregon. It'd be bad enough if it was Oregon, but it's every state is beginning in some ways to have some retrenchment from the progress we made. Now, this is normal. Social justice, racial justice in particular, gender justice, all of these things tend to have 2 steps forward, 1 step back. We're in the 1 step back zone. But when you have Joe Biden as the president, when you have Donald Trump as the potential president in the wings, and the previous president, you have 2 administrations that are pro-police, that are pro-militarization, that are pro-prison, no matter what they say. And when that's the case, you're going to get these kinds of outcomes. So the recriminalization of drugs in Oregon is not just about Oregon. It's about us being mindful and watchful of our situation and recognizing that we are very close to taking some dangerous turns in another direction.